I've been so impressed with both of you, just the attitude that you have had through all of this. So the first thing I want to ask you is sort of how have you stayed engaged at the level you have? Because I know rebuilding is hard, learning is hard, all of that stuff going through a season like this is hard. And you guys come out and the energy every night has been so impressive.
Yeah, well, I think that's, the main focal point for us as a team, and for me and John as leaders, is to bring that energy and effort every night. We know the wins and haven't been necessarily being there right now. And what we want to do is build to ultimately winning, obviously a championship one day. And so we all know this is a step and a process you have to go through to winning, and we just try to bring it every night.
Yeah, there's certainly a mentality you have to play with, playing for a younger team and knowing you're outmatched when it comes to experience. But like I said, there's a certain level of intensity you have to approach every night with, and I think it's a little bit different with different teams, and especially us in our position right now.
It's one thing to say that, right, Byron?
Yeah,
but to actually,
it's hard to do
on
a night-to-night basis.
Yeah,
but
sure.
you guys have done extremely well. For you, John Doe, being from year one to year two, what's the biggest difference?
I think the biggest difference for me is my strength. I went into the weight room and I put a lot of time and effort into my body and just trying to get stronger and more stable. Coach had me playing the 5 a lot, and I was definitely mismatched, like I said, when it comes to the strength and just the overall body and weight. And I think just being stronger has been able to slow the game down for me a lot, and it's paying dividends right now.
How is he in the weight room? Is he telling the truth?
Yeah, no, he's in there every day.
Is it really there? I want to ask you, because Trae, you were part of the highest profile trade, right? And there was so much sort of attention on Luka and Trae, and I always kind of try to make the point on this show, it was you, it was also a draft pick. So like you shouldn't face that pressure of like, oh my God, him versus Luka Doncic. But there's people who want to compare you. How do you deal with that pressure, especially he's kind of the consensus rookie of the year so far this year? Yeah,
no. For me, I don't listen to, obviously I hear everything that goes on. You can't miss it. Luka's having a really good year so far. And for me, all I do is try to focus on myself and my team. I know it's easy to say, but I've really dedicated to working extremely hard every day for my teammates and things like that. And I think at the end of the day, it worked out for both teams. That's how I look at it. And Luka's doing really well. I feel like I'm doing pretty well as well. So all I do is try to focus on myself and my team.
You got to wait until you guys get, it's the first round draft pick for the Mavericks. It's top 5 protected, but it will probably come in for you guys next year. So whoever that is, you guys can stand together and be like, hey, we were traded for Luka Doncic. This is not all on me.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you and Luka have also tried to sort of, tamp down that comparison as well. You guys have been awesome to each other on social media. Do you guys text, chat at all? Is it just on social?
Yeah, no, we got to know each other pretty well throughout the rookie transition this past summer. So we exchanged numbers this summer, and we've been talking every now and then, just checking up on each other. And so he's a good dude, for sure. Yeah,
and that's also your dad kind of gets upset when people are making the comparisons and stuff.
Yeah.
And he said that you have to stop him, that he wants to fire back on social and that you step in.
Nah, he does. I had to tell him, relax.
Rich, I got a question, though. When you were drafted and traded for a guy, and as Ray said earlier, it's always going to be that comparison. So somewhere down the line, you got to look at it and say, in the next 5 to 10 years, how does this work out for both teams? Like you said, right now it looks like it's a win-win for both teams. But at the end of the day, I'm going to ask you this. Who's going to be the better player?
Ooh.
At the end of the day, who's going to be better? Trae Young or Luka Doncic? Who's going to be the best player?
In my eyes, it's not a question. It's going to be me. But that's just the competitive nature in my blood. And I think that's a no-brainer with me, if you ask me that.
That's exactly.
I wouldn't even put the butt on there. I would have just said me.
That is a player's answer. Every player is supposed to stand up here and say that. Absolutely. That's 100% what you were supposed to say.
Politically correct.
100%. We got to talk about Vince Carter, because I have been trying to convince Vince for like 2 years now to retire and just join us here at the desk here on The Jump. Unfortunately, he keeps playing, and every year he's like, one more year, Rach, one more year, Rach. I think he's going to be 45. He turned 42 over the weekend. Maybe by the time he's 45, we'll get him. But he did help us out with that ESPN Plus show, Year One. He talked about what it's like working with Trae, and take a look at this.
He's trying to absorb all of the things that are thrown at him He's asked a lot of questions. He's attentive. He's doing everything that you want your young star to do.
To Trae. Red there. Are we good?
So it's still swing. He just put the dribble first.
He wants to be a great player, and he's willing to take on the challenge and willing to do what it takes. So he's only going to get better.
We want Vince on the show because every time he does come, he sits with us during the playoffs usually. Every time he does come on, his ability to sort of break down the game, the way he relates to everyone, it's fantastic. What has it been like for you guys to get to work with him?
Yeah, I mean, that's 20-plus years of experience right there. So, I mean, he's really been through almost every situation you could possibly imagine throughout the NBA. And just having him around gives me an extra level of confidence, just knowing, like I said, if I need any help with anything, I can go to VC.
Can you guys help me get him in the dunk contest this year?
I've been trying to talk.
We've all been trying to.
So wait, okay, all right. Like, can we get the camera back on here? I know you're running great B-roll. It's fine, but please continue.
No.
I mean, it's tough to get him to do something like that at this stage in his career. You know, he obviously has stuff, but, you know, that's definitely something we'd all love to see, for sure.
Please, tell America why Vince Carter should be in this year's dunk contest. Give a little sell, because there's still time. There's still time, VC.
Yeah, I think there's still time to convince him. I think we need to get on social media and try to convince him a little more. But, I mean, like John said, we all would want to see him.
I'm just saying it's in Charlotte
Super
this year.
nostalgic.
He could have the UNC colors on if he wanted,
he's
right?
back in Carolina, you know,
exactly.
definitely has a lot of Carolina Tar Heel fans in the house.